Our opinions aren't too tough, rough, or gruff. We are proof that you don't have to be an expert to have an opinion. So just
shut up and sit down.
This is Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff. This is Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff.
Welcome back.
Ka-chow! Watch your audio levels, James.
Was it high? Did I blow some eardrums? I'm testing out a new microphone, ladies and gentlemen, so bear with me.
You just lost your eardrums. We apologize. But welcome to Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff.
I was going to say it's worth it to listen to this magic, but I feel like if you lost your eardrums, you can't listen anymore.
Yeah, now you can't hear anything.
That's a problem. Today's Tuesday, April 26, 2022, and it is draft week.
Draft week.
How much of this are you guys going to watch?
Well, the question is, are we going to be doing any live things?
I think so. I think it's a possibility.
TBD. Draft is on Thursday. We have a draft contest.
Mm-hmm.
We do. Feature entries.
How do they get their entries in, Jim?
So I'm going to put up a picture. You're going to like the picture. You're going to be following us on social media. You're going to retweet the picture. That'll get you one entry. You get in that entry, you have to tell us, comment below your top 4 draft picks. Only one entry, though. Okay?
First one counts.
Getting those DMs.
Does that make sense? That makes sense, Muff?
Yeah, you have to be following us. You have to like and retweet the image, photo, whatever that Jim puts out.
Yep.
And then you have to DM us your top picks 1, 2, 3, and 4. Correct?
Yes, and it just has to be the player.
Correct.
Not the team. That makes it pretty easy.
It makes it easier.
Yeah.
I think this will be the first week where the images are up here. The video is live. The video makes its way to the YouTube of our faces.
I'll try to remember.
For good
Are we
or for
on
bad.
the YouTube?
Yes, Jim. We've always been on the YouTube at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter. Sports Stuff W/Jim Ampersand Muff on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you are watching this right now, you can see all of these fun things as you're listening.
I have to remember that there's video now. I get anything weird.
Yeah, no.
This is gonna be hard. If
Not
I
at all.
something weird, be like, stop that.
Let's make
So
sure
when Muff pours me, I'm gonna be like,
I know.
tell the interns. The interns need to know this as well.
right?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Alex, we need intern drawings.
Randy has one.
Randy's not the one I'm worried about. Well, we had some things happen in the baseball over the weekend before we get into the NFL talk. Miguel Cabrera gets his 3,000th hit, becoming I believe the 7th person in MLB history to do that.
Good for him.
That's a lot. That's not a lot of people that have done that. It's a lot of hits, not a lot of people.
No, there's 7, Muff. That you just told the audience. There's only 7 of them.
I think you were just saying, like, yeah, there's 7, but like it's not 7 out of 8.
You're right. So is this a huge deal? This is a huge deal.
Yes, there's 7 of them. We get it.
Do you
It's just
really
baseball.
don't like baseball that much that you can't let like Miggy have his moment?
Nope.
Okay. Just making sure.
And just so we're clear, Alex and I would stay in the game for the perfect game, and Jim would be like, "But I don't know, I don't care."
No, I'm going to save my arm so I can be a winner later.
What if you never win?
Yeah, ever.
You can't bank on something that hasn't happened yet.
If I'm a winner, winners win. So I'm going to win again.
Tommy John surgery happens too.
True.
And guess what? I'll come back a winner because winners win.
Remember that. Remember that when you
Workers work.
What is it? Something lives. Heroes live forever. Legends never die.
Yeah.
I just pulled some
This is the intro. Come on, let's go.
Was it? Wait. Heroes live forever. Legends never die. Throwing a perfect game is legendary.
I agree. I was on your team.
I know. Just want to make sure. Jim just agreed with that quote, so I just want to make sure we're on the same page here.
Okay, come on. Let's talk about something less legendary.
Whoa.
Legend. Wait
the
for
Pirates.
it. Dairy.
The Pirates took 3 or 4 from the Cubs over this past weekend.
And then what happens?
They're 8-8. They're 500. Is that what you're getting at? I don't understand.
Today on April 24th, 2022, as we're recording, the Pirates are 8-8. But the 8th loss of the season was historic. They lost, what was it, Alex, 20 what to nothing?
21-0. In a very storied history of the Pittsburgh Pirates, they suffered their worst loss of all time. Previously, it was 20-0. Right around Easter, too, I guess, was the 20-0. So,
popular time.
They eat too many Cadbury eggs, get a little weighed down.
Maybe they all went to an Easter egg hunt. Sent out the B team.
One too many peeps. They're back. We're back, baby.
We're back, baby. Speaking of being back, welcome to the show, and let's get into, Jim,
the off season.
This is the NFL off season, which is going to be mostly dominated by draft talk this week.
Let's do giraffe talk. And I was
first time giraffe talk.
Did you hear giraffe too, like the animal?
Yeah.
Thing? Okay.
Draft talk.
There will be no animal.
Crikey! Look at him with the long neck.
Some of the transactions from the past week. On Monday, Stephon Gilmore officially signed with the Colts, 2-year contract. Green Bay signs a slew of players, including wide receiver Malik Taylor and tight end Dominique Daphne.
Point of clarification, Muff.
Yeah.
How many is a slew?
More than
I knew that was coming.
More than a few.
So 2 is not more than a few.
So there was
a
these
few
2,
is more than 2,
and then some more.
A few.
It does say including, not
right. So there's these 2 plus more. Is that what you're saying?
Plus others that add up to a number that's, I think, 4 or 5 or 6.
Got it. These are just the highlights. Okay, thank you.
Well, those are even just the highlights. Those are, a wide receiver and a tight end that, those are definitely household names that are supplementing the wide receiver core.
Which is what Aaron needs. I just want to know. So 4, 5, and 6 is a slew.
Anything over a few could be a slew.
And a few is what?
For me would be like 5.
A few is 3. A couple is 2.
Several is 4.
Is the slew then more than 4? Because I think it was still 5 or 6.
We have to determine what the show says is a slew.
I think 5 or 6.
5 or 6 is a slew.
What's after 6 then?
A hell of a lot.
I was gonna say shit then, so
there we go.
Okay,
all right.
So they signed maybe 6 players on Green Bay.
There we go.
Okay.
And just to be clear, Jim, neither of those are viable weapons for Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he has no weapon, so everything has to try to be viable, right?
Literally every weapon is a viable weapon at this point.
It's true. Big Bob Tunyon's still around. The Ravens re-sign quarterback Tyler Huntley.
Okay.
He's not good.
He's not bad.
I was surprised he didn't go somewhere that needs a quarterback.
That's really where this came in my mind, is why is he not going somewhere else?
Money.
I don't know.
Plus,
maybe.
I mean, he could, let's face it, he could be next man up there at the drop of a hat, the way they play Lamar.
That's true. They also cut wide receiver Miles Boykin, which leads us into Tuesday, where the Steelers re-signed defensive back Marcus Allen and then claim wide receiver Miles Boykin from waivers.
Well done, Steelers. Well done, Steelers.
And the Falcons re-signed wide receiver Olamide Zacchaeus.
Well done, Muff.
I think it's just Olamide.
Oh, Muff gets checked, ladies and gentlemen. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da.
Final countdown is in effect. On Wednesday, the Browns re-sign quarterback Denzel Ward to a 5-year extension, making him the highest paid person at that position. This a good...
Hold on.
Go ahead.
From what university?
We've never talked about
Bowling
anybody
Green?
else. Kent State?
Wait.
Can't read, can't write, Kent State?
The Ohio State.
One of those Ohio universities.
Well, go ahead.
Got ya.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what's the best college in the state of Ohio? And my mind went to Bowling Green. So
I was thinking Toledo.
that's
Okay.
a good one too.
From the Ohio State University.
Akron, not bad.
You know, he has a press conference to announce this. He has a press conference to say, I am the highest paid quarterback in the history of the NFL.
As a Browns fan, Jim, is this a good use of their money?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that a blind agreement or is that for real?
It's pretty blind. Like, I don't know that what else do you spend your money on?
Receivers?
Maybe no. If you looked at their defense, and I know Muff scored this way, you're going to check me. From what I remember and from what I heard on the radio this weekend, they have a pretty solid defense you want to keep intact. And if paying the man his money keeps it intact, okay.
Oh, he's still recovering from the last time the Steelers stick it to him.
We'll see how the Steelers do this year, bub.
We'll see who's quarterback for the Browns. And the Seahawks bring back.
We got options. Do you?
Yeah.
Actually,
we have Mitchell Trubisky
and
whoever we draft.
You got
Mason
right.
Rudolph. He's around still
somewhere. Yeah. Sam's got him tied up in their basement.
Hey, it's not our fault. Somebody else from the Ohio State University isn't going to be back next year, Jim.
Ooh, T's and P's. T's and P's.
So before you start throwing stones, remember who the person that's not there now is.
Yeah,
you're right.
I will say, speaking of Steelers,
this is supposed to be the off season.
Speaking of Steelers quarterbacks, Duck Hodges has officially retired from football.
Why? Why is this news?
I just think that we should bring it up.
Okay.
Thank
you. I know this is the off season. We're supposed to talk about. Duck. We're supposed to talk about what's happened, but to go back to the Dwayne Haskins thing, he was going to get gas. By all accounts, right now, he was going to get gas.
Who is the girl with him?
I don't care about that. I'm not here to cast aspersion.
No, I'm just checking.
It's a question. It's a
I
question.
want to know. Do you not have AAA? Is there not roadside emergency things in Florida?
If I have that much money, I'm going to have AAA.
I'm going to call somebody to bring me gas.
Hey, Mason, help a brother out.
Right? And I'm not trying to put you down here.
Mitch was down there. Yeah, Chase.
New guy, riding me out some gas.
Well, Chase, you're the low-ranking wide receiver on the totem pole. Wake up, give me gas.
All I'm saying is that, and I hate to do this, I'm not trying to poke fun, but like, if that is all over some gas, come on, that was not a well thought out decision. Carry on, Muff.
You said it, not us. Thursday,
yeah.
Nothing of any real value to talk about. On Friday,
you skipped Geno.
I said Geno, and then you started talking about other quarterbacks.
Yeah, but you didn't finish it.
Yeah, so give Geno his due.
Please.
Put some respect on his name.
Jim's college. Can we respect mine?
Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead, Alex.
Seahawks bring back Geno Smith on a 1-year contract.
There we go.
To back up Drew Lock. Got it.
You never know.
That's true. You do never know in that situation. Skipping to Friday, the Bears signed wide receiver David Moore to a 1-year deal. Who's this? The Bears are like the Packers to me now. I don't know.
I think the Bears are better than the Packers.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers owns them. He tells them every year.
We'll put $5. Who's better this year, Muff? $5 right now.
Why are the Bears like the Packers?
Name me any wide receivers.
Isn't that Allen Robinson still there?
Allen Robinson is not there.
Oh, wait. Yeah, that was the whole thing. I got nothing. Oh, wait. Jimmy Graham is a tight end. Is he still there?
Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
Muff.
Cole Kmet. No, he left. No.
See? You see what I'm saying? So they're like the Packers right now.
Answer my decision. Answer my bet, Muff.
What is the bet?
$5.
Okay.
The Bears beat the Packers this year.
Okay. No. You said who's going to be the better team. Packers are going to have a better record. I will bet you $5 on that.
You said that Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. Let's see him own them this year. That's your boy.
I'm not going to give a 50% chance on this one.
I say he wins both games. I say the Bears beat him twice.
Yeah, I'll take $5 on that.
You're on.
Alex, write that down.
Yeah, write that down.
All right, let's get to the draft. Jim, take it away.
All right, so coverage for the draft starts Thursday, the 28th at 8 p.m. with round 1. Rounds 2 and 3 will be Friday, April 29th at 7 p.m. Final rounds 4 through 7 will be Saturday, April 30th, starting at noon. Coverage on the Aspen. Draft is taking place in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Alex, you got anything to say?
I was going to say, I'm not going to lie. I hate that it starts at 8 p.m. on a Thursday. I know it's only the first round.
Thank you.
Thank you. 7 would be better. I mean, 8, I'm getting ready. My PJs are on,
I think you speak for all of us here. I agree.
We know this is catering to the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as we're clear.
Yeah, but good grief.
Well, that's West Virginians who just want to watch the first round of the draft live.
I mean, it's not just a West Virginia thing. It's an Ohio thing. I think it's a Pennsylvania thing.
I think it's all East Coast.
Yeah, come on. Now, I think the question is, and I put this note that it's happening in Vegas. Would you go to the draft more if it was in Vegas than, say, if it was in Pittsburgh?
No.
Me personally?
Yes.
It's so much cheaper for me to go to Pittsburgh.
I'm saying it's all things considered, everything's free. You can go to the Vegas draft.
I feel like Pittsburgh. I'm not going to go to Vegas for a draft because this is going to be an absolute dumpster fire.
Okay.
All-inclusive trip free. I've been to Pittsburgh a million times. I might as well try out Vegas.
I don't like crowds. I don't like crowds of people.
I mean, I don't necessarily, but if you get if it's somewhere where I can sit down and have a seat,
I kind of lean with Muff on this one. I love Las Vegas, but I think that it not being a traditional football town, I would kind of kick it with the Yingers for the draft.
I think it's maybe because I've never been to Vegas. So in my mind, I'm like, hey, it's something new.
Yeah, sure. I see it. So anyway, top 10 picks. We outlined them last week. Let's do it again. Jacksonville at 1, Detroit at 2, Houston at 3, the Jets at 4, the Giants at 5, Carolina Panthers at 6, the Giants again getting a pick from the Bears at 7, Atlanta at 8, the Seahawks at 9, the Jets again getting a pick from the Seahawks at 10. Muff, do you want to do the top 10 projected picks?
Top 10 projected players.
Yeah, players. My fault.
Top 10 projected players: Aiden Hutchinson from the University of Michigan, Trayvon Walker from Georgia, Ahmad Gardner from Jim.
I don't know where he's from.
He's a cornerback. I'm glad you have me do the notes that you make. Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon.
My fault.
Malik Willis from Liberty. He came Iguanu from North Carolina State. Evan Neal from Alabama. Jermaine Johnson, number 2.
Ahmad Gardner
Second.
Is from Cincinnati, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jim, how did you know that? Not know that. Jermaine Johnson, number 2 from the Seminoles of Florida State. Derek Stingley, the junior variety. Go Tigers. And Garrett Wilson from
the Ohio State University.
No, Jim, you asked me to cover these from a university within the state.
I realized when I saw that you were going to butcher it, so I stepped in.
I didn't butcher
it by not saying what is it? Not an object. What's the?
If you're going to make fun of it like Muff, you got to do it like Muff. So sit down. Sit down.
So anyway, those are the top 10 players projected. Whose projections are these, Jim? Are these Mel Kipers? Are these who are we looking at here?
This is CBS's.
CBS doesn't even have draft coverage. What are we doing?
I wanted to get a neutral, non-bias, no blood in the game version of it. Because you got to figure ESPN and their projections are trying to get you to bite it. to some degree. You know what I mean? Like if they have 2 Ohio State players in the top 10, they're trying to get that Ohio State fandom to tune in. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Fair enough. So we've got the top 10 teams on the board right now. We have the top 10 players on the board right now. Do we think anything crazy is going to happen on Thursday night as far as trades? Deebo Samuel trade bait right now. He's already said, I don't want to be in San Francisco. Okay. So is that going to be an opportunity for San Francisco to move up by trading Deebo Samuel plus some picks and get a pick in order to grab one of the top 2 or 3 receivers off the board by jumping up?
Was that you last week who mentioned a trade on draft day?
Yes.
I see that as draft bait. Yeah,
I can see that. This could be the one. Could be the one.
Yeah, I think so.
Because if they're gonna offload him, now's the time. Like I don't think they're gonna get any players at this point. I think that's all kind of shaking itself out. So they got to get some draft capital.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the biggest like jump out and be possible to me.
Yeah. Do we see any teams trying to move up the draft board for quarterbacks?
Yes, I think Seattle makes a run. Maybe the Steelers, although they historically don't, but I definitely see Seattle making a run.
Why does Seattle need to make a run though?
How many teams need to jump? Because there's so many other good players that'll go before quarterbacks. Like there's going to be enough quarterbacks by the time you get a lot of places.
Yeah, I think there'll be some inner political jockeying for position. I think that's just what's going to happen. I think Seattle jumps up.
I think it would be a mistake on their part because the only team ahead of them that may be looking for a quarterback legitimately right now is the Carolina Panthers, in my mind. So that's one team that they may have to be worried about. Other than that, I don't think there's anybody they need to be worried about. So they're going to either get Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett, presumably the top 2 quarterbacks off the board.
I don't agree, Muff.
Write that down, Alex. Write it down. Mark it 10, dude.
It's down for the day.
Write that down. All right, Jim. Who's looking to trade, maybe?
So, and this again is CBS. The best chances looking to trade teams looking to trade: the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Packers, the Saints, Seattle Seahawks, and the Steelers. I don't know about the Steelers, but the other ones all seem viable to trade picks in the first round.
Trying to trade up.
Yes, I'm sorry. Teams that are looking to be the ones to trade with: Bills, Chargers, Patriots, and Giants. So those could be your movers and shakers come Thursday night.
Any teams on there that we thought we might see that we don't see?
I think your Niners point is good. I could see them coming up there.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they're not trading to move up the board. They're trading just to get stock for a player.
I don't know. This is honestly just a gut feeling, but I do not see the Packers trading up to take someone. I don't think that I don't think it's a dumb move. I don't know. They just seem really like, this is also weird, just like from the heart, not the head take, but they seem kind of like blasé this offseason. I mean, they signed Aaron Rodgers. That was like a big deal. And then they're just like, yeah, see Devontae, see whatever, I don't know. It's just weird.
Remember, they do have 12 picks. So they could.
That's true.
They could toss out 2 or 3 picks and trade up the board. I got to imagine they're going to take at least 2 receivers this year's draft. If they keep those 12 picks. If they offload some, they may just be targeting one wide receiver. This year, there's a lot of good wide receivers on the board.
That's what I think. I think that's my thing, is that I see them getting receivers, but I think that they have plenty to choose from.
Do you think the Texans snag a quarterback? Why aren't the Texans in the quarterback convo?
Because Davis Mills. They're set.
Davis Mills, Jim. Didn't you know? He's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, in all seriousness, like, they're not even in the conversation.
Because they have Davis Mills.
Do we honestly believe he's their franchise quarterback?
Future.
He's the future.
Guys.
He's the present and the future, Jim.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. He was getting stressed with us for a second, though.
Yeah, you guys were pissing me off. I'm like, okay.
Mark my words, he's going to do better than Tua this year. That was a lie.
Wow.
He's another one. I have no idea who he's throwing to. Exactly.
I would get rid of him.
You hold on to him this year, and then you hope to grab a QB in next year's draft class because you suck so bad. Next year's draft class is supposed to have a better QB stock.
What if the Texans took Malik Willis and threw everything on its head?
I don't
Draft night gets interesting.
They don't throw everything on its head.
I see the Steelers making a jump
to get Kenny Pickett. They're not going to jump. They're not going to trade that much to get into top 10 if they're worried about somebody like Seattle taking it or Carolina. They're not going to jump that far.
Okay. I mean, you're the answers. I'm just saying, I see people moving then.
They have the opportunity to move like two if they're trying to jump 3 or 4 spots by offering a couple 2s or a 1 and a 2 next year, something like that, then maybe. But
what about Desmond Ridder?
He's not the answer.
I mean, if say Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett go.
That's what I'm saying. He's not the answer. They don't draft a quarterback if Desmond Ridder's on the board, in my opinion. They ride it out. They ride the Mitch train out this year and then figure it out for next year. And probably still finish ahead of the Browns.
Fan base handle that?
I don't hate Desmond Ridder.
I don't hate him as a human being. He's just not the answer at quarterback.
That's what people probably said about Ben Roethlisberger.
No, people said I hate him as a human being, but I like him as a quarterback. Let's be honest.
Yes, that's fair.
That leads us to, we said we'd give our thoughts on numbers 1 through 5. 1 through 5 or 1 through 4, Jim?
Let's go 1 through 5. Let's give that 5th pick. We're only asking for the 4 picks, but let's give 5. So I'll go first. My 5 picks are the Jaguars can take Aiden Hutchinson. The Lions will take Trevion Walker. The Texans will take Ahmad Gardner. The Jets will take Kevion Thibodeau. And Seattle will come up and go to Malik Willis.
Okay. My top 4 are the exact same. Aiden Hutchinson 1, Trayvon Walker 2, Ahmad Gardner 3, Kayvon Thibodeau at 4. My shocker is not till number 5, and that is that the Giants take Chris Olave. Because if you remember, the Giants had the highest paid wide receiver room that was also very underproducing the past 2 years. So this is an opportunity for them to get younger and cheaper at wide receiver and maybe offload some players in the next year or 2.
So just playing devil's advocate, I found some other things that didn't match you guys just to do it. But I agree. Hutchinson, number 1, Trayvon Walker 2, Ahmad Gardner 3. And then what about Jermaine Johnson? I like him. And Evan Neal. No, I should have said to who. Sorry. The Jets.
Oh, we don't care who. We said we don't care to who as long as you just
that's true.
Picks 1 through 5.
I was just mixing it up. So if I'm right, I can be like, well, look, I predicted it.
I told you guys. Yeah. That's smart.
I think, honestly, I think that top 10 is I think top 10 pretty much stays the same. And the only thing that I think would change from the top 10 we talked about earlier would be if someone decided to jump on a quarterback. Well, Malik Willis is in there. Never mind. I think what I was getting at was I don't necessarily see a quarterback in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see that being like the one that mixed up if something crazy happens, it'll be like Malik Willis going super early compared to what we thought.
Right.
That's a more organized version of my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
There it is. That wraps up our draft talk for now. Stay tuned for the next segment to hear a little bit more about the NFL draft past. And that was Jim.
What was the sound effect? I forgot the sound effect.
The offseason.
I thought it was the NFL draft.
Dun, 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 dun.
There we go. This is Mount Massive.
Yodel-hee-hoo.
This is our version of the Mount Rushmore, where every week we tell you our top 5 in something. This week, we're going to talk about the top 5 draft picks picked in the modern era. We're still hashing out what modern era is. Muff and I have decided that it's from 1990 to today is the modern era. With that said, who wants to go first?
Alex. Alex is going to go first.
Okay. I think the clear number 1 choice. I also
wait, hold on. You gonna start at 1 or you gonna go 5-2-1?
That's true. I should probably go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, huh? So I just wanted to first preface this too. I can see their lists, and I think I went a little more. I thought we were doing like someone who got drafted really late and then was of high value. So my Mount Rushmore that's my criteria. So my number 5 was picking up Russell Wilson as a quarterback at number 75 in 2012 draft. My number 4 was the smallest but most effective. I guess this was my middle ground. Brett Favre was the number 33 draft picked in the 1991 draft. Next, I had Tyreek Hill picked at number 165 in 2016. I had Shannon Sharp picked at number 192 in 1990. And my number 1 was the man, the myth, the legend, TB12, drafted 199th in the year 2000.
I don't hate your list.
No, I don't either. I flirted. I mean, I flirted with Shannon Sharp on my list, but I was like, nah, I don't like Shannon Sharp now. I don't know if I liked him as a player either, but I don't like him as an analyst. So he just didn't make the cut.
Yeah, he got drafted so late and to be so good and so late. That's kind of how I was valuing mine.
Yeah,
but
yeah, Tyreek Hill to me is still too early in his career. Like okay. I 2 or 3 years from now, I may be able to put him on a list like this, but not yet.
He has a Super Bowl. So I think that's why
so do a lot of kickers, but
yeah, but
that's rough, Muff. That's rough.
He was
so do a lot of kickers.
I mean, 1 a year gets it.
He's a significant part of that Super Bowl team. That's why he made my list. If they never had won a Super Bowl, I don't think he would have made it. But
we're gonna see what he's like without Patrick Mahomes now.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, that's the tail of the tape for me.
Yeah, this going to happen. You're right. You're right. This would be more appropriate this time next year after we see what he does with Tua and the Dolphins.
That's just why he doesn't make my list. He's still a good player. He's just not there yet for me.
Fins up.
So right. I'll go next.
Okay.
My pick was based on transforming a franchise.
Okay.
So I'll start from 5. Ray Lewis at number 26, drafted in 1996.
You like murderers. Got it.
Brett Favre, number 33, 1991. Number 3, Patrick freaking Mahomes, number 10, 2017. Peyton Manning, number 1, 1998. I mean, come on now. And then, obviously, the GOAT, Tom Brady. We don't need to tell when he was drafted. We all know the stupid story of the Michigan nerd turned into the golden god.
So I have 2 questions I actually have 1 question and 1 comment about your list.
Yeah.
Jim. My question is more directed at Muff. Do you feel the same way about Patrick Mahomes as you did on Tyreek Hill?
Patrick
has had more.
He's not there yet. I mean, based on what Jim's saying, he's transformed a franchise because he's brought a Super Bowl to Kansas City, and he has reshaped the way that franchise is going to be run for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, by Jim's criterion, I get it. He's not there yet for me.
And my other comment is I was going to judge you for Peyton Manning being number 1. And I'm like, well, he's the number 1 overall pick. But how often do we see the number 1 overall pick actually be that good?
Yeah, I mean, he's a rare breed.
Yeah. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of Ray Lewis at 5 because he's a Raven. That's it. No, Alex. He was never found responsible for anything.
Okay, sorry. We're not bringing it up. Got it.
I had Randy Moss on this list, and I was debating him and Ray, I don't know that Randy Moss transformed a franchise.
You're correct. He transformed multiple, which leads me to my list.
Get me.
Which brings me to my list.
In his first run, do you think he transformed that team?
The Vikings?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Him and Chris Carter, in my mind, the best wide receiver duo in NFL history.
I agree, but I give it more to Chris Carter than I do Randy Moss.
All the man did was put his hand up, and Dante Culpepper. Remember, Dante Culpepper was nothing after they left.
I agree.
So the wide receivers made that team to me.
Okay, fair enough.
Any other thoughts, Alex, on Jim's list? I think Brett Favre makes sense. I mean, he transformed the game in a way. It's gunslinger mentality. So I'm with it. My list has 3 players that have not been on either of your lists thus far. So probably a lot of discussion here
about one of yours.
At number 5, Antonio Brown, picked at 195 in the 2010 draft.
Hard pass for me, but go on.
I understand. 4,
this is Smith. Mount Massive Muff.
Yeah.
Mount Massive douchebags.
Okay.
Sorry, go on. It's your list, Muff.
Carry on.
Emmitt Smith, number 4 for me, taking number 17 in the 1990 draft.
Okay.
Peyton Manning is 3 on my list. Slam dunk, number 1 pick of the last century. Randy Moss is number 2 on my list, the 21st pick in the 1998 draft, and Tom Brady, number 1 on my list. We know the story. Go ahead. Bring him to me.
Why? I'm going to start with no. Don't jump down to the obvious, Alex. Don't do it.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the Emmitt Smith pick.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of people will be like, oh, yeah, Emmitt Smith, duh. Why is he on your list? I want to hear your why.
Because in my estimation, he's the best running back who played 10 plus years. So he had longevity. He was part of multiple Super Bowls, where he was a workhorse for many of those Super Bowls and transformed the Dallas franchise into what we think about it today. Like today, what we think about it. Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin. That's who you think about when you think about the Cowboys in the 90s.
You think about all 3 of them, but if the other 2 weren't there, does it produce the same results?
Yes.
I'm not arguing that.
Emmitt Smith still is a top running back without Troy Aikman because Emmitt Smith still had an offensive line there.
Okay.
So, I mean, a lot of the credit, Emmitt Smith has already said this, much of the credit he has goes to his offensive line. He was not like a Barry Sanders dynamic in that way. But Emmitt Smith he was a grinded out back. He was like the Jerome Bettis, but not like mowing people over like Bettis was.
Okay. Go ahead, Alex. Get him.
Just explain yourself.
Antonio Brown?
Yes.
Well, he was picked 195, was it 6th round, I believe, in the 2010 draft.
Mm-hmm.
And up until he left the Steelers, he was the best wide receiver in the game, arguably probably to some people. And what was that? What do we have? Like 8 or 9 years of being a top wide receiver in the league at 190 some pick.
At some point you blow it though.
I don't disagree, but I'm going to take this. I kind of blended all of what you guys said into one list. I wasn't following specific, like one criterion. I was looking at just overall I tried to mix in some different players. I almost put Ray Lewis on this list as a defensive player, but I did not. So I tried to blend who was like a slam dunk pick that some people got right. Like the only thing you can do is get that wrong with Peyton Manning. And then what are some other picks later rounds that make sense? Antonio Brown, Tom Brady. And I tried to mix a running back in there because nobody else has a running back on their list. Yeah.
No, I don't.
No. So I'm going to mix a running back in there, and Emmitt Smith seemed to me like the best one there. And then Randy Moss.
I like the Emmitt Smith pick. I'm not judging you on that one.
Yeah. And then Randy Moss.
Neither was I.
Yeah.
I wasn't judging. I just wanted to know your logic.
I'm just thinking of all of the thousands of, I think thousands of players who've played in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And Antonio Brown doesn't pop to my head when I think of a Mount Rushmore.
Well, he's the late round pick. That wasn't just like had one or two good years. He sustained a good career. It's just
you're right. You're defending it well.
Yeah, the past 2 or 3 years have been shit. Don't get me wrong.
I think that's it. I think I'm just moored at this point. Like I don't really count him as ever having like a normal career. I just see him as
And Randy Moss is floating to the 20, 21 in a pick. If people had the foresight or the hindsight, depending on how you're looking at it, to know what Randy Moss could be, I bet he's at the very least a top 10, maybe a top 5 pick.
Oh yeah, I'll take it. I think that was pretty good, Mount Massive.
I think we did. Jim disappeared from the screen for a little bit there.
Sorry.
So if you have thoughts, give us your top 5 for your Mount Massive of NFL draft picks of the modern era, which is framed by 1990 to present. And stay tuned next week for another rendition of Mount Massive. And if you have any topics you'd like to hear us chat about, let us know.
The topic next week, I already got it picked out.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The best pound for pound boxer of all time.
I'll tell you who it wasn't. The guy that picked on Mike Tyson in an airplane.
Dumbass.
This will be interesting for me as you guys are several years older. So I feel like you've watched more boxing.
Yeah, probably.
But
and thanks for calling us old, Dick.
I mean, objectively, you guys are a few years older.
Objectively, you can go pound salt.
I'll have to do some YouTubing.
On that old YouTube machine.
Yodelay-hee-hoo.
This is Quick Thoughts.
Is it Quick Thoughts?
This is Quick Thoughts.
Somebody wasn't listening, but yeah, it's Quick Thoughts.
Sure. All right. This week's Quick Thoughts starts off in the National Basketball Association, the NBA, this league. It's playoff time, baby. The Nets are about to be swept by the Celtics as they're down in the series 3-0. Ben Simmons was about to make his long-awaited debut, but now is having back soreness. Any comments on that series, Muff?
Ben Simmons is out there looking like a pack of Skittles on Saturday night, while the team, Kyrie and KD, were out there just stinking up the joint. Listened to a little bit last week, and that the Celtics create the matchup nightmare for the Nets because they are a great defensive team and they have not just length in the defensive end, but they also have quickness. And that's something that the Nets are not built for. They don't have like a dominating down low presence. They pretty much hope that Kyrie and KD can take them to the promised land. And unfortunately, that is not happening. So get out the brooms, ladies and gentlemen. The Nets are going down.
Jim?
You know, for all the shit Muff talked about the LA Lakers being the geriatric bunch, Ben Simmons has back soreness. They can't get through the first round against the Celtics. Like, can this not be the other nursing home? Like the East Coast nursing home? Like
what?
This is like a skilled nursing facility. Like they just need a little help to get back. Like Lakers, I feel like are like
go ahead.
Hospice care.
But let's all right, I'll give that to you. At least that's a good analogy. They both suck.
Agreed.
Wait, but only one of these didn't make the playoffs.
The other one looks pretty embarrassing and probably shouldn't have been there to begin with.
Well, they had a player who's, he's celebrating Ramadan and he missed half the season because he couldn't play out in Brooklyn.
Stupid.
Moving on. The NBA protests continue. Where is this going to end? Jim?
I didn't see this latest one, except for like the actual stopping of this person trying to come on court. Muff told me about the security guard that was in the know. I don't know why the NBA is the league to do this in. Like, what is it? What are they trying to prove? Has the NBA made someone mad? I know they have an issue with China, but
Isn't the chicken guy associated? Sorry, go on.
The chicken?
Go on.
What chicken guy?
The guy.
That's the reason for the protest to start.
So these are all around the chicken?
I don't know about the latest one.
Chicken.
I'll let you finish your thought and then I'll chat.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted.
I don't know that it's gonna end. That's how I'll finish that. I don't know how it's gonna end.
Muff?
Chicken at China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops ticking. So I don't know if the last one was chicken related to the 5 million chickens that were slowly burned in or gassed to death because they had the avian flu that was going around.
You realize from now on, any protest that happens, I'm like, is this chicken related?
Where the chickens?
Where are the chickens? Are the chickens alive or are the chickens dead? The NBA offers the easiest venue to interrupt the game. I mean, fair. You see this in soccer, but that's just like doing it in an American football game, right? You have to jump fences, you have to get onto the field, blah, blah, blah. And that's usually just people that are like, oh, I'm going to run around. The NBA is you're right there. And in this case, yeah, the security guard was like 3 seats over from these two people. The first person, they were chatting to each other, and the first person put up a camera and was ready to go. And then you could just see like them look at each other. And then the person takes a leap towards the court. They were in like the second row. And the security guard got up within like a half a second, met this person on the court, perfect form tackle, took him to the ground. Apparently this person had like an NBA jersey underneath too, which is why I'm not sure like if this is chicken related.
Jim, any rebuttals?
Wait, no, no rebuttals. No, I'm not going down that hole. Nope.
Gotcha.
I do want our shirts, Sam, if you listen. If not, I want to reach out. I want sports stuff with Jim and Muff. Is this chicken related on the back? Like that should be a new slogan for us. Is this chicken related?
Is this chicken related? I think it's fair.
Is that the NBA? Is that the new title? The NBA. Is this chicken related? Instead of this league?
Yes.
Jeez,
Moving on to the NFL. Less chickens, I think. The league will have 3 games on December 25th for the first time. 2 in the
Christmas
afternoon.
ham. Is this ham related?
Is this ham related? 2 will be in the afternoon on CBS and Fox, followed by a primetime contest on NBC. The NFL Vice President of Broadcasting, Mike North, has revealed the triple header on a podcast hosted by WGR radio host and Buffalo Bills sideline reporter Sal Capaccio.
Cappuccino.
There's no.
My fault.
Capaccio.
Hey, Sal. Hey.
Muff thoughts. Muff thoughts.
My thoughts. Number one, why we're not the podcast that got to do this.
Thank you.
And I would like to real quickly just make sure Jim knows we can't say is this ham related. We have to say is this pig related. We have to use the animal, not the product.
That's true.
My fault.
So, although chicken is chicken, like the animal and the meat that we associate with it. But oh well. Anyway, thank you for having football on Christmas Day, so that I don't have to. Basketball does not start on Christmas for me now. Basketball starts in the playoffs.
Yes.
So I don't even have to worry about basketball on Christmas this year. I just have to worry about football. Thank the good Lord, baby Jeebus, for allowing this to happen.
So I have like a bunch of points. So get ready to gong me. I'll do it really quick. Ready? Go. 1, how do they reveal this on a podcast? This seems like something they should be very big on. 2, I love the fact that they put this on the 25th and that it's like in between the bowl seasons. So that's really awesome. 3, something for me to do on Christmas. 4, did they run this by the players union? Are they okay with it? 5, who's going to play on those games? Like, is this Dallas Cowboys like part 2? Do I have to see them on Thanksgiving and Christmas? Because I don't know if I want to do that. Those are my 5 points.
All good points. I'll give you that. All good points. Muff, would you like to answer any of those points?
Nope.
Okay. Good. Good NFL talk. Let's go to college hoops. The Dukies. Duke freshman AJ Griffin is headed to the NBA, becoming the 5th Duke Blue Devil player in the past week to declare early for the draft. Griffin's NBA move follows that of a 7'1" sophomore, Mark Williams, 6'10" star freshman, Paolo Banchero, 6'5" wing Wendell Moore Jr., and 6'5" guard Trevor Keels, part of one of the nation's top recruiting classes out of Ossining, New York. Griffin is ranked as ESPN's number 8 draft prospect. Any thoughts on the exodus from Duke to the NBA? Jim?
I don't like college basketball, so I'm going to throw this back at you guys. With Coach K leaving and all these stars leaving, is this the end of the shine for Duke? I would think so, as a novice and a basketball fan.
Can't you hear
Muff?
my heart beat slow? I can't let you go. Want you in my life. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking to Coach K's presser. Every time we touch, I get this feeling.
This is your second musical interlude.
I know. Well,
I'm kind of impressed.
These are just coming to me. I think I saw a small. Well, I saw this fall off for Duke. I did. I don't think they're going to fall as far as we all think because it's still Duke and they still got Shire in there who has the Duke pedigree. They're still going to bank on Coach K, his name for a little bit. I think his grandson still there? Isn't he still there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
driving people around to make sure they don't get DUIs. So
yep.
As long as somebody's there, I feel like his thumbprint is still going to be on the program at least for the next 3 or 4 years.
Sorry, Muff, I was interrupting you a little bit. -1 for me. One, I think they're going to the NBA draft. They're not transferring.
Right.
2, UNC, when Roy Williams retired, you didn't see huge, it's still UNC basketball.
Right.
And you see how involved Roy, I can't say Roy today for some reason, Williams is still in the program. And I see Coach K very much being like that as well. So I think they are forever going to be kind of figureheads that will be a part of the program.
Yeah, and Duke's following the same pattern. They're hiring an assistant coach, a longtime assistant coach who has ties to the program. So,
yeah. Well, 8 miles away, let's talk. I think it's 8 miles.
North Carolina.
Caleb Love is returning to UNC for another season. Muff, fittingly, you are first on this topic.
Caleb Love returning. RJ Davis is returning. Armando Bacot is returning. Fire up the Tar Heels for a championship run this season.
Jim, any rebuttal to that?
That's it? That's all you had for that? Okay. They're going to look like it's already predicted their preseason number 1. I don't know who stands in their way by everything that you've laid out.
I feel like we always do this in college basketball, though.
I would put hot money on them right now to win it all.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying I think we always say no one will stand in their way. They're going to have some bumps.
Hey, as long as floorboards don't mess up the situation again.
Right?
Exactly.
Amen.
Sorry, I'm getting very involved in this quick.
You are.
There's some good topics. I need to back out, butt out. Let's move to hockey. The Seattle Kraken had 2 minority owners, Marshawn Lynch and rapper Macklemore.
Love it. Seattle keeps making me love them. I have money on Vegas. They're still alive. Vegas is still alive. Chances are still there. But I'm going to get a hold of their marketing team, see if we can somehow get involved too. I want to be a part of Seattle's team. I might get a jersey even. Love Seattle. Love the fact they're adding these 2 minority owners. Who doesn't want these 2? Marshawn Lynch as a sports team owner. There'll be golf carts on the ice. I love it.
Muff?
Give me more of this.
Marshawn Lynch is going to go to Seattle Kraken games and watch them over and over and over and over again. And Macklemore, I mean, come on. This is a slam
on Macklemore.
This is a slam dunk. This is a slam dunk of all slam dunk options.
Yes.
I'm all about it.
Can you imagine Marshawn Lynch on a Zamboni?
Eating Skittles.
Yes.
Throwing them out.
They should have a Skittle themed ice rink one night.
Like a flower girl who ride on the Zamboni.
Yes.
We should totally tweet it then.
Give them some
This
ideas.
has to happen.
Fire up the Twitter machine, peeps.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we'll move to Jim's favorite sport now, baseball.
Hey.
Fans in the right field bleachers pelted the Cleveland Guardians outfielders with bottles, cans, and debris in a chaotic scene moments after the Isaiah Kiner Falefa and pinch hitter Gleyber Torres notched run-scoring hits with 2 outs in the 9th inning to lift the New York Yankees to a 6-5 victory on Saturday. Why the hell were fans throwing things at a team after a win? I'm going to add that part to the end of the question. Muff?
Because the Yankees fans are trash. Trash fans. Trash fan base.
Trash.
Get them out of here. The fact that the players had to come out into right field and the players were still getting hit. Umpires were getting hit.
Okay, kudos. Sorry, go on.
The fact that the players had to come out, Aaron Judge had to come out and be like, hey, I'm super huge and you should stop doing this. They're like, we'll maybe listen to you, but here's a few more bottles. Like, this isn't like it's the playoffs. It's not like it's a championship game. This is just a handful of people that had a few too many drinks and they're trying to be the bee's knees. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Won.
Right.
Jim?
It's been a while. But fuck the Yankees.
Yeah. My comment was going to be kudos to the Yankees players who ran out, were like, stop throwing trash at them.
Oh, Aaron Judge, he was out there.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Good on you, Aaron Judge.
Stop that, not cool.
I like Aaron Judge. Just wish he wore a different uniform, played for a different team. Because
yeah,
fuck the Yankees.
No, I don't like the Yankees either. I'm just saying. I do say I'll give credit where credit's due. That was a good move of them.
Yeah.
Boxing.
Boo.
Boxing is a topic less often talked about on Quick Thoughts, but we threw it in here for today. Tyson Fury, pow pow, retains the heavyweight title with 6-round technical knockout of Dillian White. And then he hints at retiring, and then he hints at fighting UFC star and champ Francis Ngannou in an exhibition bout. Jim?
It's my turn, right?
Yes.
So he says, man, told my wife when I won the title and that trilogy that I was going to retire. Then they offered me this fight here in Wembley, and who doesn't want to fight in Wembley? So I'm going to fight in Wembley. I did this. Now I'm going to retire, right?
Yes.
Then Francis Ngannou's in the ring, and he brings Francis over, and they're talking, and they both say like, hey, we're going to fight. We're talking about fighting an exhibition fight with mixed rules and MMA gloves. And that's not retiring, first of all. And anybody who's watched the latest Jackass movie and seen Francis Ngannou hit, he doesn't hold back, and that man can break things. I love Tyson Fury. He is probably a dumber version of Conor McGregor. He's chasing that Conor money. I love this, but I don't think Francis Ngannou is who I'm going to choose to make that McGregor money. So I question his intelligence.
You think he got hit one too many times?
One too many times.
Muff, what are your thoughts?
I don't think he is a dumber version of Conor McGregor. He's been in the boxing game his entire career, which means he's been making that good money for a while now. Conor McGregor had to dip into the boxing world to get that big payday.
Alex, look up their net worth while Muff tries to make this argument.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm sorry. Did you not say that Dana White needs to pay the fighters more?
Let's see who makes more money, Muff.
I said after that big payday in which he crossed over into the boxing world. Without that, I feel like we've got the right argument here.
Tyson Fury's net worth right now is $150 million because he did some WWE stuff, I guess.
Right. So there we go. He crossed over.
Okay,
Conor McGregor.
Muff.
Go ahead, Muff. Keep talking.
Okay. The Gypsy King is the best thing we got going on boxing right now. So they got to hold on to him as long as they can, even if it is him going over to the UFC and maybe getting his butt whooped. But at this point, everything's cash money for him. So what does he care? Do as long as you want to, Tyson, as long as you want to.
Conor McGregor right now's net worth is 120 million.
Huh.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Dana White's a piece of shit. Dana White is a piece of shit. Wow.
Now, what's Tyson Fury without the WWE deals?
Yeah, but
not that much.
Conor McGregor's got a whiskey. Conor McGregor's got the fight with Mayweather, like one WWE, maybe two WWE spots, and he's still worth more than Conor McGregor. I would have never guessed. Dana White is a piece of shit.
Now this says, okay, wait. There was a $28 million minimum guarantee earned from his February 2020 match against Deontay Wilder. I was trying to see if there's any more details in Tyson Fury's.
Yeah, because the UFC guys are getting like maybe $1 million in one of those big fights, in like one of the big fights.
Yeah, but
right?
you gotta figure Connor's had all them trilogies, and he's Conor McGregor, and he's the one bringing eyes to the product.
Right, you would think he's still not getting more than like $2 million a spot.
Right, unbelievable, stupid. You're right. Give Muff a point for this. Well done, Muff. Well done.
Hey, boxing is still king when it comes to cash.
Wow. I've never hated Dana White more than this moment. Wow. Go ahead, Alex. Let's move to the next point.
All right, I got distracted. All right. Mike Tyson punched a fellow first class passenger aboard a Florida-bound flight because the aggressive man threw a water bottle at him, according to reps for the former heavyweight champ.
Mm-hmm. That
aggressive. Happened. Muff, what say you?
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. This guy was just goading him into this, like over and over and over again, was just poking the bear. And guess what? Poke the bear one too many times, the bear's gonna fight you. And Mike Tyson said bye-bye and punched him in the mouth.
I'm just saying, never mind. Go ahead, Jim.
So, yes, everything Muff said. I watched the video. Did you see the video, Muff?
Yes.
I saw the video. This guy's a moron. He's in a metal tube with a caged lion, and he decides to poke the lion. What are you thinking, sir? This guy's, according to news outlets, has a criminal record. Well, so does Mike. So does the man think he's in prison? Like, does he not remember prison rules? Number 2 or 3 or whatever point I'm on, the cops come. They try to sort things out. They press charges on the guy for throwing a bottle at Mike. And this guy doesn't want to press charges on Mike. So at least he's smart enough to, like, I'm not getting a legal battle with Mike Tyson. This man is an idiot. And according to everybody, like, Mike was cool with every single person on this plane until this idiot decided to throw a water bottle. Like, come on. What are you doing? Are you drunk?
I was just about to say, do you think alcohol is a factor?
I don't care how drunk I am. If I see Mike Tyson, I am not going to poke the bear.
I agree.
Dumb.
Agreed. Moving on out of the boxing realm back into football, but in the college variety. The Oklahoma spring game debuted the new coach, Brent Venables. There was a record crowd, 76,360 patrons, and they revealed the Baker Mayfield statue. Thoughts on any of that, Jim?
So a lot of spring games are getting a lot of record crowds. Ohio State's, USC's, Oklahoma's. A lot of teams are debuting new coaches. Pretty cool. Baker Mayfield statue.
Yeah.
Does he deserve a statue? I've seen the statue, saw it on the internet.
He did win a Heisman.
A lot of people have won the Heisman. They don't deserve a statue like this. This is a full-fledged statue that doesn't even look anything like him.
Sorry, I wasn't going to say it. I was going to let Muff talk. But...
I mean, I understand Baker's had a rough go of it, but woof.
Muff?
In my mind, I don't know if Adrian Peterson has a statue, but I think he deserves one more than Baker Mayfield if he does not have one already. Because that's who, aside from like Brian Bosworth, Adrian Peterson, who else do we have? Like Baker Mayfield, as far as high profile, I know there have been other good players. Mostly you see him at the skill positions from Oklahoma, right? So whatever. But this is that statue is just terrible. Like
there's not a statue of Eddie George anywhere in Columbus.
adding
Not one.
adding insult to injury to Baker Mayfield right now. You put him up next to that statue and you say, "Hey, we're honoring you," and you're like, oh, "This is really honoring me." This is bad. This is bad for Baker. That's all I gotta say. They could have done a whole lot better.
What's okay? And maybe I'm digressing. This is supposed to be quick thoughts, but what college would you put a statue up of a player? A full-fledged freaking statue.
It says
Tennessee could put up Peyton. I'll give you that. Michigan, I don't think, can put up Tom Brady because he didn't do anything in Michigan. Ohio State doesn't have any of their people up. And quite frankly, maybe Eddie George could be that guy, but still, what college could do that? I'm not talking a bust. I'm talking a full-fledged statue.
So they do have it's not like it's just Baker. All of their Heisman people do. And that's the argument. I just looked up and there's some message boards about why should AP have a statue and all that. And they say the most people are on our side of saying, yeah, he deserves one, but he didn't win a Heisman, so they're not putting him there. And then other people are like, okay, so not in the ring around the stadium, how they have them, but why not like somewhere else on campus? I mean,
Muff. Answer my question.
What college deserves
college
aside from Tennessee?
Yeah.
Gotta believe we've got like some old school like Army, Navy, Notre Dame people that probably deserve it.
Okay.
From back in the day, if you're talking like
sure.
people that deserve something, if you're looking modern day, which I don't know what's modern day in this particular case.
I can't think even from the sixth, like Jim Brown.
I'm saying Brian Bosworth. If you're talking about
the Boz, you want to put a statue of the Boz up.
He deserves it more than Baker if you're looking at what they did in college.
I'm saying in general.
I feel like I'm going to have to gong this soon.
Go ahead, gong it. Let's move on.
Rule changes in the NCAA football realm, not here on Quick Thoughts.
Come to Penn State. That's who I want. Give me that.
You want that statue back, huh?
Give me that statue back.
Muff.
Me too. I agree with Muff. I agree with him.
Okay. Previously, anyone ejected for targeting during the second half of a game had to sit out the first half of their team's next game. For any game that has instant replay, conferences now will have the right to appeal the decision to the NCAA National Coordinator of Officials. If video suggests the player shouldn't have been removed because of targeting, the player will be eligible immediately for his team's next game. Another rule. Schools and conferences will also be able to report scenarios where an opposing team may have been awarded an injury timeout suspiciously. The conference or school involved in the complaint would be able to issue discipline if the national coordinator of officiating deems it necessary. Any injured player will still be required to sit out at least one play. And a third rule, linemen and stationary backs blocking below the waist inside the tackle box on scrimmage plays will be permitted. However, any such action outside of the tackle box will be penalized. Thoughts on these new rule changes? I know there were 3. We can break it down again if you need. I'll give you a little extra time. I don't remember who was first at this point.
Let Jim go first. I don't even know if it's my turn or not. Let him go first.
Okay, Jim, kill it.
I think this is a half measure on the targeting. I get that we can review it. That's great. But let's not eject them at all. The NFL doesn't. So let's not do it here. I mean, they're not ejecting him. It's maybe find the institution. I don't know, but let's not eject them in college. I like the appeal process there. Faking an injury, I would like to know exactly like how they're going to dive into that. Are they going to call down to the medical staff? Hey, did he fake that? How are you going to investigate that? But whatever.
The intent.
There we go. Circling back. And then as far as the line, like Isn't a block below the waist dangerous? Like, no matter if it's in a tackle box or not. I get they get a little bit more speed and they're out there in space or going downhill or any other cliche probably adds a little bit more danger to the block below the waist. But, like, how are we going to forego that? Well, whatever. I'm glad they're making some changes.
Muff.
The block below the waist, I think this puts it in line with the NFL. I think that's the NFL's stance is inside the tackle box at the line of scrimmage, you can block below the waist, which is pretty much line play, right? And that's, you can't high-low people and stuff like that, but I think that molds it with the NFL standard. Yeah, the whole reporting people you think are suspiciously having injuries, like all you got to say is I had a Charlie horse. I had a cramp. How are you going to disprove that? And the fact that you have a national coordinator of officiating, the NFL can't even get this right with people in the booth. How do we think this national coordinator at the college level is going to be able to make a good judgment on this? Get that out of here. And targeting, we're never going to be able to get this right until I agree with Jim where they just make it like the NFL. So I don't think fines are the answer, but I don't have a better solution. But this isn't it. That's all I know.
I wonder, can there be an ejection process that's quicker, like not the next? So, like, 10 minutes into the game, they call it targeting. And it's like, now, I think not ticky-tacky targeting ejection, but like blatant targeting. There are times when helmets hit where you're like, yeah, that was technically by the rule of it, targeting. And then there are times where it's a big kaboom. But
I love that entire segment right there. Ticky-tacky targeting versus a big kaboom. I actually want to do a whole YouTube
I was just going to say, I think that might be a new segment come football season.
I really do. Like, that was the big kaboom. That was ticky-tacky.
I'll point it out this year when they happen.
Thank you.
But can they go back and review it kind of like instantly? Do you send it off somewhere and someone calls in and he's like, hey, disagree, not eject worthy versus eject worthy?
Yeah.
You know what I say?
What?
Let's have a live vote during the game of the fans. Should he be ejected?
So basically, it's a home game and the visitor.
No. This is not in the
nationwide.
Stadium. This is on the TV. Like, yeah, people in the stand can do it.
Problem is, like, if it's Toledo versus Ohio State, like, Ohio State's probably going to win that one.
No, it's not. Like, because if anybody else is watching that game, everybody's going to vote against Ohio State.
Against Ohio State, sure, yeah. But, like, couldn't that same thing be for Alabama? Like, a lot of people aren't big Alabama fans. So the big teams are going to get smashed harder than the not so big teams.
Hey, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
All right, moving on to the NIL deals. I think we'll talk about these more and more. The father-son duo, John Daly and John Daly II, have signed an NIL deal with Hooters. The Dalys will promote the Hooters brand through various marketing activities, social media, and other digital channels. Do you have any comments, boys, about Hooters?
Muff, that's to you, buddy.
The fact that Alex says Hooters makes this even better. Talk about the best NIL deal that has happened yet. Even better than J.R. Smith to me. How did this not happen earlier? This is what I want to know. How did it have to wait? Because I think John Daly Jr. is going into his sophomore season, so I think he took a whole year to make this happen. And John Sr.'s with him. Like, this is so perfect. And his kid is just like him. I've actually heard from people that have been around them while I was at the U.S. Amateur last year, said we've been around them when they were talking, and John Jr. talks just like John Daly, like swears up and down, probably has similar habits, just not smoking on the course. But yeah, this way to go, Hooters.
So my only question is, how do you rope in your dad to an NIL deal? Is your dad in college? Like, how does that work?
I think Hooters just signed John Jr. and John Daly is just part of the package. Like, I don't think NIL, like name, image, likeness, it doesn't, there can probably be class action, not class action lawsuits, but class action like NIL deals. There's multiple people if they wanted to.
I don't think the word's class action, Muff, but okay.
I want to see this. I can't wait to see the ads and the
Hooters.
Hooters. You want to see the Hooters?
Okay. Hooters. Moving on in the NIL world, every Oklahoma player will receive $50,000 in NIL money a year. Plans are to start enrolling players for the payment the day after the spring game with everyone on board come fall. Jim?
We knew this was coming. I think this is the biggest note. I'm glad we're ending on this. We knew this was coming. It doesn't say who it's with, it doesn't say who it's from, but on a roster of 99 players, Muff, you're the math genius. 99 times 50. How much is that, Muff?
That's 4.52.
Every
so 4.7.
Every year. Now, we're a sports podcast. I get it. If you were just a social studies major, a tennis player, a swimmer at the University of Oklahoma, and you heard the football program can shell out $4.2 million to their players, how's that make you feel? That's point one. Point two, like, how does a school like Bowling Green, Toledo, our boys at App State, Coastal Carolina, how do you compete against Oklahoma at 4.2 every year? We're going to see this become a monster. To you, sir.
Hooters. That's how we do it. I said 4.7. It's actually like 4.95.
I wasn't going to correct you.
It's a bad mathers in there. So yeah, this is untenable for other mid-major and lower conferences, non-power fives, to do without a huge backer. So we're just hoping that somebody has, like, you know, the Bill Gates of alum where they can just toss money at them. They like the football program and or any other programs as well. But I mean, this is good. This is good for Oklahoma. I mean, it's good for their players. If you get 50K, I mean, 50K goes a long way for not only the student athlete, but also can be helpful for their family. So this is like, at this point, Reggie Bush needs to get his Heisman back. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. Well done.
Is that our quick thoughts this week?
It does end quick thoughts, and it brings us towards the end of the show.
Well, I was going to give out some points.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alex. So -1 for me. Got it. Move on.
Wow. Weird. All right. I gave a +1 to Jim today for entertaining basketball talk more than normal. He's very participatory in basketball talk. I also will give him a +1 for entertaining baseball talk. Now, it was about trash throwing. However, he did talk about baseball. He did not just say pass. Good job, Jim. 2 points.
Thank you.
Muff, you got +1 for your multiple musical interludes. I liked the energy that you brought to Quick Thoughts today and the creativity. And you got a +1 for your good points in the money talk with the boxing segment. However, you did get a -1 because you almost didn't let me award points, and it would have ended a tie if you didn't lose a point. So Jim wins.
Victory!
There's the winner.
Now
there's the winner. Okay. Jim is the winner. And because he is the winner, this is going to be like a around the horn situation where Jim gets the showtime to bring us his intern's task from this week. We're not going to do a full intern segment, but Jim's win allows his intern to speak for the day.
All right. So I'm going to bring in Randy. Randy, just a reminder for all of you maybe who just joined the show. Randy is cousin Randy, who's 40. He's big into air frying. He's a NASCAR-loving, blue-blooded American. Okay? All right. Come on in, Randy. So, Randy, it was Talladega, right? Yeah, it was Talladega. Tell us a little bit about Talladega. The track was fast, cars were fast, but one thing was missing: wrecks. There wasn't a big one. Sure, there were some of them, hold on to your chicken wings, man. Hope that old boy's alive moments, but there wasn't the big one. I mean, this Ross Chastain dude won, but he only got lucky. You know, like everybody's wrecking in front of him. He just held on and went straight. And apparently he's owned by a pit bull. I don't know whatever that means, but that's some shit. The highlight of the weekend, though, okay, in the lower racing tier, the Xfinity Series, Earnhardt's back, baby. The return of the three. Raise them up. Number 3. Well, Earnhardt's grandson, Jeffrey Earnhardt, he won the pole. He had old, what's his name? I can't think of the crew chief. Larry Mack. Yep, that's it. Larry Mack was his crew chief. And woo, doggy, I tell you what, he was driving the shit out of that car. He was running and he fell back a little bit, but then he was driving to the pole and my God, he was wheeling and dealing off the shit out of that car. God damn. I thought that's his granddaddy out there. He was trying his ass off, but he only got second. But I tell you what, right now, the Earnhardts are back, baby. Gives you a whole nother reason to watch racing. I am so happy. God bless America. I tell you what. But Earnhardt is back. You hear me? Earnhardt all the way. Raise him up, number 3.
Race hell, praise Dale.
That's right.
That leads us to the end of the show. Thank you, Randy, for your. Wait, Randy, do you have a recipe for this week?
No, I was too excited. I was just eating my chicken wings I bought from the BW3s, drinking my Bud Light and watching Talladega.
Was that about chicken?
Ooh. It's chicken related.
Oh, is that chicken related?
This episode was chicken related this week. As always, at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter, sportstuffw/Jim Ampersand Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Get pumped. This will be the first full episode of YouTube with our faces. 125 days until college
full
football.
Episode? You're not going to cut and edit this?
No. We get what we get.
Oh, hell.
And that brings us to the draft. Remember, let us know. Get into the contest. Let us know your top 4 picks. You might be able to win. What, Jim?
You're going to want a gift card.
A gift card.
We're going to ask you where you want it from. It's going to be wherever you want. If you win, you pick $40.
I'm only going to put one qualifier in there. They have to say whether it's chicken related or not chicken related.
Yeah, you have to tell us it's chicken related.
Because
if it's chicken related, I'll throw in an extra 5.
Especially, I'll throw in an extra 20 if you go to Hooters for this chicken related situation.
Hooters.
Get with us. Interact with us on the social media. Tell your friends about this, because the only way for this to keep going to the top, all the way to the top, out of the stratosphere, to the moon, is to tell a friend, make a friend, be a friend.